Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Mwendo here, ready to share as always. Today I'm going to speak about how to cope with chronic health problems, health diseases. Chronic health diseases are diseases which are long lasting and they come with time, a period of time. So this is what I'm going to discuss today, and these diseases involves cancer, heart problems, stroke, diabetes, and so many other diseases. So this is what I'm going to talk about: how to cope. 4 ways on how to cope with chronic diseases. Before I start, I would like to tell you, before you reach out to cope with the kind of disease you are, it's not easy because there's so many, it's a journey, there's loneliness, there's self-denial, there's so many things that happen in between before now you decide, I want to cope, now I accept I'm sick and I want to cope, I want to see what I can do about it. So it's also a process to get to decide to cope with the sickness. You have to accept that you're sick. And you know, the self-denial part is crucial. Like, it's so difficult to know that you are sick and you're going to deal with this the rest of your life. It's really painful. It's really a torture. I'm going to start with number 1. After all those periods, now you have accepted and you want now to know, what am I going to do? The first thing you need to do is find more about your sickness. Do research. Okay, do not go to, Google is not bad, but sometimes you may not get correct information. So look for correct resources to get the right information. Try as much to gather information about your illness so that you're able to know, and also get examples of people who have the same kind of illness and how they deal with that kind of disease. Because you have to know, what am I supposed to do? What am I not supposed to do? What are my limitations? So you need to find a lot about your sickness. That is number 1 way to start coping with your sickness. Number 2, you have to be balanced. You have to be balanced, because now when you're sick, so many things are limited. Your physical movement also may be limited, diminished. But now you need to know that your emotional, your mental, your spiritual aspect it is affected, but you can handle. This sickness doesn't have to take away your emotions, your spirituality, and your emotional. So just know you have to be positive, and other stuff should not be affected unless you have a mental problem whereby you don't know, you have hallucination, you don't know what to think. But if you have that ability of thinking or doing things, be positive. Don't let this sickness take away your emotions, your spiritual qualities, and your mental abilities. Yeah. Then step number 3, the third way on how to cope with chronic diseases is to set goals on what to do. Even the other people set goals, but now your condition is a bit complicated. You also need to set goals. You have to take control. You have to regain control of your life once again. I'm going to give an experience of someone who became sick when she was 11 years old. Helen was sick. She was suffering a disease known as sclerosis. Sclerosis is a disease whereby your nerves, your muscles become stiff. So she has been sick for the last 25 years. This is about, it was like, it got 25 years sickness when it was 2000, 2000, the year 2000. He had suffered from. That is 20 years ago. She has suffered from this sickness. And you know what? First, he used to walk to keep going, but afterwards, she lost control of her right hand. She can't move the right hand, which switched to the left hand. Just imagine you can't do work with your right hand, your left hand, you can't do work. So, do you know what happens? In the 8th year, she could not walk. She could not walk. And you know what? At that particular time, you need to be washed, to be fed, to be dressed with other people, which is so sad. But I'm going to quote what she said. She says that my motto remains, despite all the challenges she's going through, the motto remains that think of what you can do and not what you used to do. So if you're in any condition, think about what you can do. Don't think about what you can't do or what you used to do. No, think about right now, what can I do? You have to regain control. You have to set goals on what to do and what not to do. So it needs a lot of positivity. You have to be positive. You have to be positive. The last way I'm going to share is about give yourself time. Give yourself time, because this is a journey. It's not something that can happen overnight. No, give yourself time. There's good days, there's bad days. Remember, even if you are not sick, you still get to have good days and bad days. So nothing is going to change. Even if you're positive and you have regained your control, remember, there will always be good days and bad days. So it will take time, but to work on yourself. So those are the 4 ways of coping with chronic health problem. And I would also like to refer you to the last video I did about how to cope with stress. There's also some points there that can also help you to cope with your illness. So there's so many people right now, they're suffering, they have bad conditions, and there's no room for positivity, and life becomes like a nightmare. So be positive and do what is right. And also, I have another experience in things. A friend, I wanted to quote directly what my friend said, because she said, here it is. Lex, this is a person also who was really paralyzed. He could not move. But he said, I'm reading the quotation. I discovered that although paralyzed, I could do more than I thought it is possible. So don't block your mind. Try and do those things, and God will help you to go through. Remember to trust in God. Remember to worship Him in spirit and in truth. And also, in the period of dinner, I know you ask so many questions. You like, why me? Why now? How did I get sick? Where is God? So many questions comes to your mind at that particular time. But stay positive and try applying. It has worked for people. It can also work for you. So that is all I had for you today. Be blessed. And if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. There's a subscribing button down there. You also click the notification bell so that when I come up with I upload a video, you are able to be notified and you're able to get the information as early as possible. Try to share as much as possible to people who you know they have chronic diseases. Know that there's help there. They can be positive and things will work. Thank you so much and God bless you.